Good morning, children, and welcome to new class. So, today we are going to start Unit 9 Everest Reactions. Now, this is an extract from a Teller's World by R.K. Narayan. I hope you all know who R.K. Narayan is. R.K. Narayan is one of the India's best known writers in English. Most of his work is set in the fictional town of Malgudi. There was a very famous show, Malgudi Days, which was telecast on the DD, Doordarshan, long time back. And people used to love watching the episodes of this show. It reflects everything Indian and yet has a unique identity of its own. His stories celebrate the humor and energy of ordinary people. So let us now read what this whole chapter is about. It was the youngest member of the household, Thambi. So now here, who is the main character? It is Thambi. Now 12 years old, who came in with the news. It was his habit to go out and keep dashing back every little while with reports of cricket scores, flying saucers, traffic accidents, and other such matters. So here we come to know that this is one character, Thambi, who is just 12 years old, and he has this habit of getting news. He fetches different kinds of news. Today he came in crying out, "The Everest has been conquered. They have reached the top." People thought he was joking. Although Thambi was generally an accurate reporter, occasionally, perhaps when he felt that people's interest in living was flagging, he tried to rouse them with stories of dacoity or arson in neighborhood. Stories that would not bear a moment's. What kind of news did he share with people? The stories of dacoity or arson. Now, what do you mean by arson? Setting fire to someone's property on purpose, this is a punishable crime. So, he used to get such exciting news uh, to all the neighborhood people. Such tales would make the elders sit up and ask where he had heard them and so forth, and the young man would go away pleased that he had succeeded in stirring his elders from their torpor. Now, he was always ready to arouse curiosity among the people. Now, what do you mean by torpor? Here, this word. So, here, torpor means the state of lazy inactivity. It means the people who were just simply lying down. He used to come and share some news with them, and all the people used to become excited. Now, what other news does he share? This seemed to be such an occasion. Thambi tried to run away from declaring the conquest of the Everest, but he was caught by the ear and asked to explain. Now, today he was sharing the news about Everest, that somebody had got on the Everest. Where, who told you about it? So people asked him. Got it over the radio in the next house. Next house? How often have you been told to keep to your books and not loaf all over the place in the sun? So now he gets a scolding that he should not loaf around. Loaf around means idly or aimlessly move here and there. I was studying all afternoon, went out only for a moment to listen to the radio in the next house. What has happened to our own radio? So the family members asked him. Finding that the subject was getting unnecessarily twisted, the young man declared, "The Everest has been climbed, and that is all I know." "Don't be absurd," cried his elders. "Who has been telling you such a cock and bull story?" So, now what do you mean by cock and bull story? Cock and bull story means some story which is not relevant at all. "I knew long ago that it would be climbed," said Thambi. The elders groaned. "How could it? How could it be? It is impossible." So the elders, they actually feel that, so he says, Tenzing and Hillary have done it. So, what are the names of the two people? He gives the complete information. Said the well informed boy. So, who is the well informed boy here? He is Thambi. He was delighted with his own success in impressing his elders. He added casually, "They also find now that the height of the Everest had all along been mistaken. It is about 1,000 feet more than what it was thought to be." So he adds some more information to it and he says that it is not the height which we were already thinking. It is 1,000 feet more than what we were thinking. "Impossible! Who has been putting ideas into your head?" cried the elders. So the elders asked him, "Who is telling you all such things? How do you know all this, boy? It was only yesterday that we heard that the assault was to be given up." Now, what do you mean by assault? Assault means, here you can see, attempt to climb the Everest. So they say that yesterday only we came to know that the assault was to be given up. It means that nobody was going to climb the Everest. "But there it is," said the boy triumphantly. Triumphantly means with a lot of pride. Hilary and Tenzing, the elders, took in the news with a sort of gloomy resignation. Now, what do you mean by gloomy resignation? They accepted it, but they were not very happy with it. This was a piece of news for which the world had waited for a century or more, and now, instead of arriving in a spectacular manner with a fanfare of trumpets. Now, what do you mean by fanfare of trumpets? Now, look here. Fanfare of trumpets. Ceremonial music played on trumpets to introduce a special person or event. Actually, the elders were thinking that it would be a triumphant moment and it would be announced in a very grand way. But nothing like that happened. So they were a little disappointed. Reaching them through Thambi, the habitual purveyor of new tidbits. Now, what do you mean by tidbits? So here, tidbits means little small news. So Thambi always used to share some new news tidbits, small bits of news. But this time, the news that he shared did not make them happy. So I hope you have understood till here, and from the 15th paragraph, we'll be starting in my next class. So have a nice day and keep learning.